Thank you for joining me for a yoga and meditation class. My name is Holly. I use she, her pronouns. We are going to start with 20 minutes of floor-based beginner-friendly yoga, followed by 20 minutes of beginner-friendly meditation. You don't need any yoga or meditation experience to take this class. All you need is a yoga mat or a carpeted area, and you might want a blanket nearby, maybe for postures, maybe for your meditation, but it's not necessary. You don't need any fancy yoga props. Okay, so we're going to start sitting up nice and tall in a comfortable seated position. You can sit crisscross applesauce. You can sit in Sukhasana, easy pose with one foot in front of the other. Just take a moment to rock back and forth, side to side. Start to anchor your body into the floor. Feel the floor beneath you. Can roll your shoulders forward a few times, and backward a few times, and then just let your shoulders drop. Like you can close your eyes for a moment. If closing your eyes is distracting, you can do a soft fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. Place one hand over your chest, your heart space, and one hand over your abdomen. And take a nice slow inhale through your nose. And out, exhale through your nose. As you breathe in, feel your body rise. As you breathe out, feel your body fall. On the inhale breath, notice what temperature of air is coming into your nostrils. On the exhale breath, notice what temperature of air is coming out. Maybe a little bit warmer, reminder that we are very much alive and 90-something degrees. One more time, inhale. And slowly exhale. And if any point in class your practice starts to get away from you, you can just return to your breath. Take a moment to notice your breath. That's a lot easier to get back on track. Slowly open your eyes if they were closed. Place your hands outside of your hip areas, arms long, shoulders soft, chest proud. We're just going to start by moving our neck spine. Inhale, stretch the crown of your head up. Exhale, tilt your right ear towards right shoulder, stretching the left side neck. And it's worth noting that I'm not mirroring you, so it might look like I'm moving my head to the left when in fact I am moving my head to the right. You are welcome to follow my words or my body movements during class. Just know that we will do the right side of postures first, unless I forget, which sometimes happens. Slowly roll your head down, chin to chest, let your head hang heavy. And then roll your left ear towards left shoulder, stretching right side neck. And you might notice that this side feels different from the other side, and that's really normal. We are not symmetrical, we are not butterflies, we are perfectly imperfect. A byproduct of a yoga practice is that we tend to get a little bit more symmetrical, but the real goal is just getting to know yourself a little bit better, accept yourself, love yourself. Good, roll your head down, chin to chest. Notice if you're leaning forward or hunching forward, sit up tall, roll your shoulders back and down your spine, and then see if you can let your head drop one more inch. Look down the center line of your body. Good, slowly roll your head back up, look straight ahead, lift your nose, lift your chin, look up towards the ceiling, maybe even let your head drop back, look for the wall behind you, just the neck spine moving at the beginning of class. Eyes open, mouth closed, breathe. Good, slowly roll your head back to center, look straight ahead. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your right shoulder, bring your chin over your shoulder, look for the right wall or even the wall behind you. The spine moves in 6 different directions, right, left, backward, forward, twisting to each side. And we will do all of those multiple times today, even in a 20-minute beginner-friendly yoga class. Good, slowly come back to center. We'll do the other side, inhale, stretch up. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Look for the wall behind you. Imagine if there were a wall directly behind you, you could lean your whole body, including the profile of your face and your left ear against that wall. Look back. And then slowly come back to center. Good. Keep your left leg bent. Kick your right leg out a little bit wider than 90 degrees so you feel an inner thigh stretch. Take your right hand outside of right thigh and reach your left arm long overhead for a side body stretch. Roll your left rib cage back. Bring the right shoulder forward. If you'd like, you can bring your forearm to your thigh, coming down a little bit lower. Try to keep your left hip and left knee on the floor. And if you'd like from here, you can bend your left elbow, pat yourself on the back for practicing yoga today. Hold and breathe. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the nose. If your left arm is bent, lengthen that left arm. Slowly press yourself back up to center. Place your hands outside of your hips. Kick your left leg out, bend your right leg in, other side. Take your right arm long and overhead, tilting to the left, stretching the right side body, and then roll the right rib cage back so the chest is open. Option to stay here or take left forearm to left thigh, coming down a little bit more, feeling the stretch. Option to stay here or bend your right elbow, pat yourself on the back for something else you're proud of today. Always a moment for self-affirmation in a yoga class. Breathe. Lovely. Straighten your right arm and then press yourself back up to center. Place your hands behind you. Keep your left leg out, kick your right leg out. Stick your butt out a little bit. Take a moment to point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, flex your toes, and then relax your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Palms forward, exhale, fold, hands to floor in front of you. Rather than rounding your spine, arch your spine, stick your butt out a little bit, roll your shoulders back and down, look forward. On the breath in, lengthen the chest, lift the chest. And on the breath out, come down, fold. Beautiful. Walk your hands back in, put your hands outside of your thighs, slide your feet together. You can point your toes, flex your toes, point your toes, flex your toes, relax your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Palms face forward, exhale, fold. Same thing, flat back, straight spine, shoulders back, chest proud. Imagine you could hook your ribs over your knees. On the breath in, lengthen the spine. And on the slow breath out, fold forward, stretching the hamstrings. Beautiful. Walk your hands back in, come up to center. We're going to find our way into a tabletop position. Come onto all fours, bend your knees so that your knees are under your hips and your wrists are under your shoulders. Now, if you have tight knees, you're welcome to roll up your yoga mat. So there's a little extra padding under there. You could also place a small, thin blanket underneath your knees for support. From here, make sure that your hands are about shoulder width distance, knees about hip width distance. And we're going to cat-cow. We're going to articulate our spine. So take an inhale through your nose. And on the exhale through your nose, round your spine, pull your abdomen in like a cat, meow, drop your head, chin to chest, press your hips forward, push your knuckles into the floor, round your spine. This is cat pose. On your next inhale, we're going to move into cow pose. Stick your butt up, drop your belly down, lift your chin and chest, look up, roll the shoulders back and down. We're letting our abdomen hang heavy, kind of like cows. Exhale, breath, abdomen in, cat pose, meow, round your spine, compress the front of the body, slide shoulder blades, scapula apart. In both cat and cow, you want to keep the shoulders out of the ears. Inhale into your cow pose, let your abdomen hang heavy, shine your heart space forward, roll the shoulders back and down, move your tailbone up, look up, chin and chest lift, keep the shoulders out of the ears. One more round, exhale into your cat pose. It's extension to the spine, compression to the abdominal wall. Think about hips to ribs, ribs to hips, belly button to spine. And when you're ready, inhale into your cow pose, extension to the front of the body, compression to the spine. Squeeze shoulder blades, scapula together to stretch the fascia on your chest. Good. Exhale into a neutral spine position. We're going to open the shoulders and twist the spine. Keep your left hand on the floor, looking forward, neck long. On your inhale breath, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Look for your right thumb. And on the exhale breath, carefully place your right hand back down on the floor, wrist under shoulder. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach your right arm up, twisting the spine, opening the chest and shoulders. Exhale, take your right hand back down to the floor. Inhale, reach your right arm up, connecting to the breath. This time as you exhale, we're going to thread the needle. Take your right arm underneath your left arm, right shoulder, right ear to floor. Try to keep your hips over your knees. You can keep your left hand on the floor for stability, or you can reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and then drape your hand behind you, eventually catching your right thigh with your left hand for a half bind. If this thread the needle is not accessible or does not feel right to you, you can come out of the posture, sit back on your knees. And for a different shoulder stretch, you'll bring your right arm out to the right, swipe across your body, Bend your left arm, forearm to forearm, pull back, and now you get the same deltoid shoulder stretch without putting too much weight on the upper body. If you are in thread the needle and your right arm is draped behind you like in a half bind, reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and then place your left hand back on the floor close to your face. Everybody together, we're going to unthread the needle. Inhale, reach your right arm up, look up. Exhale, place your right hand down to the floor. Let's do the other side. Inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Exhale, slow left hand back to the floor. Again, inhale, reach the left arm up, twisting the spine, opening chest and shoulders. Exhale, left hand down to the floor. Breath in, left arm up, stretch. Breath out, thread the needle, take your left arm in between right arm, left shoulder, left ear to the floor, hips over knees. Option to keep your right hand on the floor for stability, or reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then drape it behind you, eventually touching your left thigh with your right hand for a half bind. Take a slow inhale through your nose. And a slow exhale to your nose. So we're connecting our mind to our body through the breath throughout class. If your right hand is draped behind you, reach your right arm up. Take your right hand to the floor close to your face. Everybody together, unthread the needle. Inhale, reach your left arm up, look up. Exhale, place your left hand down on the floor. Great. From here, you're going to slide your right foot forward so that your right foot is in between your hands. Start to slide your left knee back for a nice runner's lunge here. This is another example where you're welcome to put a small blanket underneath your left knee or roll up your mat a little bit. Drop the shoulders, look forward, keep your neck long. Option to keep your hands on the floor. You can also tent your fingers or try lifting up. Place your hands behind your back and do a little back bend, stretching out this left hip. Feel the stability in the right foot, pushing the front foot into the floor. Good. If you're lifted, place your hands back down to the floor. We're going to bring the hips back, hips over left knee, and then sink the hips back down, lengthen the front leg, flex the right toes back for a nice half split. If you've ever wanted to try the splits, this is where we start, stretching one leg at a time. Flex your right toes back, drop the shoulders, lengthen the neck spine. Good, move your hips up and forward, place your right foot back down on the floor, slide your left knee a little bit forward, and then bring your right knee back down underneath the hip. Let's do the other side. Take your left foot in between your hands. I know this part of class always feels like twister. Slide your right knee back into a nice little runner's lunge here, stretching the right hip. Option to keep your hands on the floor. You can tent your fingers or try lifting up, maybe even placing the hands behind you for a little back bend. If you are placing your hands behind you, try to bring elbows close together behind you. Look up. Beautiful. Place your hands back down on the floor. Move your hips back. Now lengthen the front leg, flex the left toes back, drop the shoulders. Feel this nice stretch from the Achilles, calf, and hamstring. Shoulders back, chest lifts. Good. Move your hips back, hips over knees, left foot to the floor. Slide your right knee a little bit forward and then come back into your tabletop, left knee down. Great. From here, you're going to bring your feet together. Open your knees and start to sink your hips down for a wide-legged child's pose. Reach your arms forward, forehead to floor. Eventually, the hips sink back onto the heels. Lengthen the arms forward, press the hips back, feel your spine lengthening and realigning. Great, look forward. You're going to slowly come forward, elbows bent, elbows over shoulders, and then slide your legs back, come onto your abdomen. We're going to do a few back bends here, spine strengtheners. Place your hands on the floor below your shoulders for Cobra Pose. This time you're going to have your feet about hip width distance. So if you do 26 and 2 yoga with me, the feet are together, but in this version, we're going to have our feet about hip width distance. Press your feet, hips, and hands into the floor. Lift your chin and chest, look up, roll the shoulders back and down. It's a great way to strengthen the back. It's good for healing the spine, and it's nice for releasing tension from the front of the body. Great, slowly lower down, forehead to floor. From here, you're going to bend your arms out to the side so that your arms are cactus like goalposts, elbows in line with your shoulders, wrists in line with your elbows. So the arms make 90-degree angles. Keep your feet about hip width distance. And now lift your chin and thighs off the floor, squeeze shoulder blades, scapula together. Good, press the hips down, lift the legs and chest up. Good, and slowly lower down. This time, take your arms out to the side like airplane wings, keeping the feet about hip width distance. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes, look up and lift, arms and legs off the floor. Keep your neck long so you're not dropping your head all the way back, but you're also not like tilting it down, right? Think of your neck as an extension of your spine because it is. Good, slowly lower back down. This time you're going to bring your arms forward. I'm running into my couch a little bit. Palms facing in, thumbs towards the ceiling, pinkies towards the floor. Point your toes, squeeze your glutes, and once again, lift the arms and legs off the floor. Imagine you're holding a big beach volleyball in between your hands here, fingers wide. Good, slowly lower down. Last one, take your arms back, palm facing in, this time thumbs towards the floor, pinkies towards the ceiling, squeeze your tush, look up and lift. Squeeze shoulder blades, scapula together. Imagine you're squeezing your palms together behind you. Good, and slowly lower back down. Place your hands on the floor below your shoulders, press yourself up. One more child's pose here, this time knees, feet together. Sink your hips down, reach your arms forward, take a breath, stretching out the spine after that compression. Inhale, exhale. Good, look forward. You're gonna lift your hips and then turn, lie on your back. Great, lie on your back with your knees bent, feet on the floor about hip width distance, arms long, palms face the floor. Bring your arms underneath you so that your knuckles are touching your butt, palms face the floor, shoulders down. Keep your head on the floor, chin in slightly so your neck is lengthening down to the floor. Press your feet and shoulders into the floor, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips for a bridge. Rather than flaring the ribs out, try to knit your ribs together. Press your heels, shoulders down. Keep your chin slightly to your chest so your head and the back of your neck are on the floor. Good, slowly lower back down. We're gonna do supine figure 4. Keep your left foot on the floor. Lift your right foot off the floor, cross your right ankle shin over your left knee. Option to keep your left foot on the floor or lift it off the floor, drawing your thighs in towards your abdomen. And if you'd like, you can take your right hand in between your legs, left hand outside of left thigh, and interlace your fingers behind your left thigh, pull down. It's a great side seat stretch, hip opener. It's an intro to pigeon pose if you ever wanted to try pigeon pose. And if you have sciatic nerve pain, this is your posture. We're stretching out the sciatic nerve. If you have a grip on the back of your leg, release that grip, take your left foot down to the floor, uncross, right foot down to the floor, bring your hands underneath you. We'll do another bridge. Press your feet, shoulders down, squeeze your tush, lift your hips all the way up. Knit the ribs together, keep the chin to the chest. Good, and slowly lower down. This time, keep your right foot on the floor. Figure 4, cross your left ankle shin over your right thigh. And if you'd like, lift your right foot off the floor, interlacing your fingers behind your right thigh, pull down, breathe. Good, release your right foot down to the floor, left foot down to the floor. One last bridge, hands underneath you, press the heels, palms, shoulders down, lift your hips up, chin to chest, maybe lifting the hips, squeezing the glutes a little bit more this third go round. Good, and slowly lower your hips and knees back down. Lift both feet off the floor, bring your knees, feet close together. You can place your hands on your shins just below your knees, or you can even interlace your fingers just below your knees and roll right and left, back and forth, rocking out the spine. Good, and then come back into a neutral position. From here, keep your knees bent, knees, feet together. Take your arms out to the side like airplane wings, perpendicular to the body, palms facing up. And you're gonna roll to the right for a spine twist. So left hip stacks on top of right hip, left knee on top of right knee, left foot on top of right foot. Try to keep your left shoulder on the floor. You can keep the back of your head on the floor or gently look to the left ear towards the floor. If you're looking to the left, roll your head back to center, and then roll your left hip back down. Other side, roll to the left, right hip stacks on top of left hip, right leg on top of left leg. Try to keep the right shoulder on the floor. Option to keep the back of your head on the floor or roll your head to the right, look over right shoulder, breathe. Great. If you're looking over your right shoulder, roll your head back to center. Roll your right hip back down. Give yourself one final squeeze so you can interlace your fingers again or grab your shins. Squeeze knees together and down. Take a big inhale through your nose. Open your mouth. Exhale through your mouth. Release the grip on your legs. Bring your arms and legs down. Savasana, corpse pose. So we're lying on the floor with the arms and legs down. Let your head, hands, and feet be heavy. Let the floor hold you up. Inhale, feel your body rise. Exhale, feel your body fall. Breathe in and empty out. Some people call yoga a moving meditation. So in that spirit, we're now going to move into a more still meditation. For the second half of class, you are welcome to lie in Savasana, or if you'd like, you can come into a seated position and sit in Sukhasana easy pose or crisscross applesauce. And if you do want to sit up, I sometimes like having a blanket underneath my butt so that my hips are a little bit elevated. And as we're getting settled, whether that's just getting a little bit deeper into your Savasana or coming to a seated position, I'll explain a little bit about what meditation is and is not. Some people think that meditation is like an absence of thought in the brain. I prefer to think of it as compassionate mind control. So a lot of times, especially these days, I talk to people all the time who are like, I can't focus. I can't even read a chapter of a book for fun. I'm right there with you. And sometimes when we realize that we're having trouble controlling our thoughts, we're really hard on ourselves and we can be kind of mean to ourselves or talk negatively to ourselves. And in meditation, we're offered the option to observe when our mind has wandered and then be compassionate with ourselves. So sometimes if I notice that my mind has kind of followed a particular thought down a rabbit hole, I'll just gently tell myself thinking and then return to the breath, return to my words, to the meditation, to the present moment. There's no such thing as a good meditator or a bad meditator. There are simply people who meditate and people who do not. So for the sake of today, you are meditating, take that as you will. Now that you found yourself in a comfortable position, I'm going to light a candle as a symbolic gesture that we are entering into a more intentional space. Being intentional with our breath, intentional with our body movements, and intentional with our thoughts. Try to be still during your meditation, but of course, if a foot falls asleep and you need to move your foot, you're welcome to. Or again, if you find the same way that you might find your mind wandering, you might find your body fidgeting, you're just going to compassionately return yourself to stillness and breath. You're welcome to close your eyes. Closing your eyes is distracting. You can do a soft, fuzzy gaze just beyond the tip of your nose. Take a slow inhale through your nose and a slow exhale through your nose. And we're just going to take 1 minute here of silence and breath. It's very possible that that was the first minute of your day where you intentionally sat still and breathed through your nose with nothing else to do. Someone once explained, practicing meditation a little bit like backing up your computer or downloading files, or I guess now we upload files to a cloud. And that, if you upload the files you need to every day, it doesn't take long. But if you only do it like once a week or once a month or once a year, it takes a while, right? And same thing with meditation. If you don't give yourself time to be still and breathe every day, there's a lot to process, right? That's going on in the mind. So again, we're just whatever comes up as you start to enter into a little bit more intentional stillness and silence, just greet that with compassion, turn towards it rather than away from it. Sometimes when a thought or emotion pops up, we try to ignore it completely and pretend like it doesn't exist. Other times we really attach to it as if, if you feel sadness, all of a sudden you say, I am sad, right? Or if you have a negative thought pattern, all of a sudden you believe that's who you are. Meditation offers us a third path in which we can acknowledge what's going on without attaching to it. We'll take one more minute of silence. Our thoughts and our feelings are like clouds. Sometimes they pass quickly. Sometimes they linger all day. Sometimes they're white and fluffy. We might even make shape or meaning out of them. Sometimes they're gray and stormy. It's important to remember that you are not the clouds, you are the sky. And through this compassionate mind control, we're allowing our thoughts and feelings to pass, noticing them, but not attaching. Draw your attention to your right thumb as if nothing else in the world exists, which of course is a little silly. But again, it's this idea of compassionate mind control, learning to focus and breathe, bringing your full self to your right thumb, and relax your right thumb. Now bring your full awareness to your right second finger, and relax right second finger. Right middle finger. Fourth finger. Breathe into right little finger. Now bring your full self to your left big thumb as if nothing else in the world exists. And give your left thumb permission to relax. Bring your awareness to your left second finger. And relax left second finger. Left middle finger. Fourth finger. Breathe into left little finger. Let your hands be heavy. Relax through all 28 knuckles. Soften through your wrists and forearms, elbows and upper arms, armpits and shoulders. Relax your shoulders. Soften through your chest, your ribs and abdomen. Relax through the upper spine, middle spine, and lower spine. Release any tension from the side torsos. Relax through your hips and seat. Relax your pelvic floor. Soften through the outer thighs and inner thighs, hamstrings and quadriceps. Relax your kneecaps and the backs of your knees. Give your calves and shins permission to relax. Soften your ankles, your heels, and the arches of your feet. Now bring your full self to your left big toe and relax your left big toe. Breathe into left second toe. Middle toe. Fourth toe. Relax left little toe. Now bring your full self to your right big toe and relax your right big toe. Turning your awareness to right second toe, middle toe, fourth toe, relax right little toe. Soften through your feet and legs, torso and arms. Relax through your throat and neck spine. Bring your full awareness to the crown of your head. And relax the crown of your head. Back of the head, hairline and scalp, each and every hair follicle. Soften your forehead. Relax your brows. Let your eyes be heavy in their sockets. Relax your temples and the space between your brows. Soften through your under eye area and cheeks, bridge of the nose and nostrils. Relax through the outer ears and inner ears, backs of the ears. Let your earlobes be heavy. Relax your lips, your tongue, the roof of your mouth and gums, each and every tooth. Soften your chin. Relax your jaw. Relax your jaw. Relax your jaw. Notice where you might still be carrying some tension in your body. And breathe into that area of the body. Think about sending a nice slow inhale to anywhere that could use a little extra love. And as you exhale, just imagine that tension releasing. body getting a little lighter. Notice if there's a particular thought that's continued to follow you, or maybe a feeling, and just observe those with compassion. And notice if that thought or feeling is living in a certain part of your body, like if you can feel it in your chest or your hands. And just observe that compassionately, turning towards it, not away from it. And just let it go, like clouds passing in the sky. We'll take 2 minutes here just to enjoy our own company and stillness with breath. And whenever you notice that the mind is following a particular thought or feeling, you're just going to allow it to pass like clouds. Remember that this is a practice. Give yourself permission to relax and let go. There are many different types of meditation. Today was really just an explanation of meditation, a gentle body scan, relaxation, and some time just to be in stillness. We'll do different meditations every week, some of which involve, visualizations or even words or phrases or thoughts, kind thoughts, loving kindness towards others and ourselves. So just know that there's many different types of meditation. And sometimes something works for us and sometimes it doesn't. And sometimes one day something really speaks to us and the next day not so much. Again, just remember that there's no such thing as a good meditator or a bad meditator. Simply people who show up and people who don't. So for the sake of today, you made it onto your mat. You turned inward with compassion. And now you're here breathing in and out. Take an inhale through your nose. And then exhale through your nose. Breathe in and breathe out. You are welcome to stay in this relaxed state for as long as you'd like. Otherwise, I'll count us down from 3, at which point you can open your eyes or make any other movements that might tell your body that you're shifting gears a bit. Big breath in. Easy breath out for 3, 2, 1. I'm now going to blow out this candle as a symbolic gesture that our meditation time has come to an end. And I am letting the very real, literal smoke clear the air as a reminder that when we take time to be intentional, we literally change our connection to the space around us. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I hope to practice with you again soon. Bye, friends.